Pleasure to see you, man.
Oh, absolute pleasure. What's going on, bro? I'm late again. Let me tell you, this time, Chip, let me tell you, the missus was blowing my ears up, right? Kept going on about, have you seen the dog ball? Have you seen the dog ball? Didn't even know the dog played cricket. Anyways, what's the mystery today, boss?
The mystery is the mystery of Adam. No second name because they don't know him. This is the longest unsolved child murder case in the history of history.
In the history of history, I'm pretty sure that's not what I know.
It was in the history of the Met Police. I just needed to make it more dramatic.
Not far from Tower Bridge in the murky waters of the Thames, a passerby discovers something that looks like the lifeless body of a child.
Hopefully someone in that country, someone who knows Adam or someone who knows something about this crime will step forward.
The child's arms, legs, and head are missing. To this day, they have not been found.
Im Nachhinein brauche ich das auch nicht, weil vielleicht hätte ich dieses Kind ja auch retten können, wenn ich mehr gefragt hätte.
Yeah, it's 20 years, but it's the last thing you think you're ever going to see in the River Thames. It was so shocking.
Boom. 21st of September 2001. The year of
9/11.
Yes.
Actually.
Probably don't know if we should even...
No, it's actually part of the thing.
Is it?
That's genuinely in here. It says one of the reasons why this case didn't get nearly as much sort of press or media attention was because it was around the time in which 9/11 happened. And of course, that just took up all of the media space and everything. So this case never really got the attention that you could say it deserved. So the fellas here, we're here to deliver that attention. That attention they ordered, it's here.
He may be late, but he knows his stuff.
Thank you.
Now, Adam, which is not actually his real name, it's just the boy is unidentified, so I guess that's just the name they've given him for the case. His body was found in the River Thames in London, and investigators believe that the boy was from southwestern Nigeria. And right before he was murdered, he was trafficked over to the UK as part of something called a muti ritual sacrifice, something I'd never heard of until today.
Yeah, it's also, sort of the meaning of that, which we had to look into, is it's a traditional medicine practice in Africa. So a little bit, you know, not too much information on it, but these sort of rituals.
We'll get into it. We'll deep dive it.
And it's a bit grim.
Yeah.
It is grim.
And also something that's really important to the case, something that's going to come in later on, was the fact that he was found wearing a pair of orange shorts.
These orange shorts, they are key to this case, right? And they were labeled Kids and Company, right? Just on them. And their size and color of these shorts could only be found in a very select number of shops in Germany.
Yes.
Which is a really important thing to note, and you'll understand why as we get into this.
Now, they do believe that he may have been in the water for up to 10 days. There was no signs of physical or sexual abuse, and it looked to be that the boy was well fed. They've given him some grub.
Yeah.
He was looking good.
I'm not too sure how you can tell that. If the body had been in there for 10 days, I mean,
I
look,
guess
science is mad,
maybe
right?
the weight of the boy, you know, like he's got a bit of belly on him. He's got a bit of a bear belly.
I don't know. But yeah, it's an interesting fact, because I guess the whole point that they're trying to make is it didn't look like this guy
was being abused or neglected or anything like that.
But that being said, they did only find his torso, right? So all of his limbs had been cut off.
Yeah,
right?
so
his head was as well.
Does that not count as physical abuse?
Yeah. So when they say here that there were no signs of physical abuse,
I guess I
would argue that is physical abuse.
I think they're more leaning towards, like, you know, he'd not been beaten up. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But I would argue that cutting off his limbs is pretty severe physical abuse.
Probably have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad we're in agreement there. Let's keep going. The police believed Adam to be between the ages of 4 and 7 years old. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't actually get a more accurate age there, just because I feel like this was in 2001, and I know that, I mean, that is 20 years ago now. It doesn't sound like it, but it was 20 years ago. So you'd like to think that they had the tech and the ability to really figure out a child's age. But still, they
were using pages back then, man.
Pages?
Pages.
Oh, pagers. Yeah, not in 2001.
I don't know, man. How old was I? 7? I swear mobile phones were like really, really bad then.
Do you reckon people were still getting paged?
Actually, feel like they might have been.
It might be the end era.
End of the pages, and the mobile phones are coming in.
Okay.
But the technology wasn't that crazy back then, was it?
No, you're right. You're right. So yeah, they couldn't, and they had a look. You know, obviously they did the autopsy. The post-mortem showed that the child had actually been poisoned, right? And we'd mentioned obviously already about his limbs being removed, and that's what really made people think, could this be part of some sort of ritual? And
yeah,
like,
well, the limbs were well removed as well.
Yeah, they claim they were expertly
so
removed.
Somebody whoever's done this has done this before.
Right, and yeah, I mean that is really dark to think about. Not only that, but just looking at what was in his stomach. And the trace minerals, they were able to judge that he'd actually only been in the UK for a few days. So was he trafficked in for this particular ritual? Was he here? Did he somehow get into the wrong hands of someone, and then they decided to do a ritual on him?
Yeah, was he kidnapped?
Was he yeah, exactly. So
possible.
There's a lot of questions around it. Another piece of information which sort of ties into the fact that this could be a ritual-based killing is the fact that they were able to establish that he was from southwestern Nigeria, near a place called Benin City. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, but yeah, which is actually known as the birthplace for voodoo.
Oof.
So obviously rituals are really common from that area. Look,
yeah,
it's looking like
a couple of breadcrumbs being eaten there.
What is that? I've never heard that before.
You know, you follow the breadcrumbs.
Oh. So we're eating the breadcrumbs.
But we're eating the breadcrumbs because we're onto something.
We are. Right,
yeah.
Let's keep going. Let's keep eating the breadcrumbs. With the information about where he was from exactly in Nigeria, investigators then decided and sort of believed that this was definitely to do with a ritual sacrifice performed by a witch doctor, right? And what they do is they use sort of child body parts to create medicine. Oh, fuck. How do you say that word again?
Medicinal.
Medicinal.
Don't worry, bro.
Medicinal potions.
Medicinal, baby. Yeah, like when you get the weed from the doctors.
This is slightly different, bro. Chip, this is slightly different. It's a little bit darker than that.
Is it medicinal or not?
Look, this is what they claim to be medicinal potions called muti.
Yeah, I ain't ever had that myself.
I don't plan on having this particular medicinal potion, personally.
Investigators couldn't find anything about Adam in the database of missing children. You know, they looked hard. Nothing's coming up. They actually even went on to offer £50,000 for information on who the killer was.
Yeah, if they had any information on being able to help get a conviction out of this, they offered £50,000. Not only that, that wasn't the only bit of media press though. In 2002, London officials flew all the way over to Johannesburg in South Africa, right? Where Nelson Mandela made a public appeal, which is obviously massive. Like Nelson Mandela at this time was such a huge
It was a Donny.
Yeah. And now they've managed to get him to put out a public appeal requesting any information which could be helpful towards this case.
As it seems likely that the boy might have come from Africa and had been the victim of some ritualistic murder, I wish to direct my appeal even more specifically to people in Africa. If anywhere, even in the remotest village of our continent, there is a family missing a son of that age.
July 2002. This is where things are going to get a little bit spicy. Very interesting, okay?
Me, why?
Social workers in Glasgow were concerned for two girls who were living with their mother. The mother's name is Joyce. And when police searched her flat, they found ritualistic objects. At a court hearing, Joyce told stories of cults, killings, and sacrifices. Sounding a bit dodgy already, right? Police also found, now this, if you remember from the beginning, we spoke of the orange shorts.
Yes.
Police also found those same orange shorts in her home, same size as the ones that Adam was wearing. Now, she was arrested, and she kept changing her story and said she knew nothing about Adam and claimed that, you know, it was all a crazy coincidence. Officers couldn't charge her in the end, and she remained in Glasgow as a result of her asylum claim.
So she I'm not going to say she didn't get away with it, but she wasn't charged with anything in the end, right?
No.
Because I guess they didn't have anything. The only real, well, for me, the big coincidence here is the fact that she has the same orange shorts, okay? Plus the fact that she's really into all this ritualistic stuff.
Yep.
And, you know, people were concerned for the two girls that were living with her as well.
I mean, yeah.
Were they going to eventually fall victim to a ritual?
It could just be a coincidence. I mean, the orange shorts, I'm sure a lot of kids have bought them or had them.
Unfortunately for her, her asylum claim didn't go too well, and in November 2002, Joyce was in fact deported, but she wasn't charged. Now, on this plane home, they were really hoping that Joyce would just give them a little bit more information about anything about it, because she was already on her way out.
Yep.
She was leaving the United Kingdom. Will they get anything? But obviously, she didn't really give up much. Now, they found out that Joyce had actually been living in Hamburg until late 2001, where the orange shorts were found.
That is crazy. It's crazy how, you know, somebody could get convicted and caught from this whole thing just because of a pair of orange shorts. Damn. And they're only specifically sold in one place. It's so like,
it's so weird.
Oh my god, you can only get these orange shorts in Hamburg.
Well, if it wasn't for these shorts, I would say that you just have a pretty good chance at saying this is a big coincidence.
She should have just gone with the classic black Nike shorts, because they sell them everywhere.
But there might have been a reason. But there might have been a reason why she's gone for these shorts.
They might have been cheap on offer.
Or there might have been a symbolic reasoning for it. But we'll get into that. Originally, when police arrested Joyce, they found that she only had 2 contacts in her phone. Right? Only 2. Now that's suspicious as it is.
You know, she keeps her circle tight, man.
Yeah, well, she kept it really tight because one of those contacts was for a man named Musa Kamara.
Okay.
Okay. Now he was traced to a house in London, obviously where they found Adam's body. Adam's body was found in the Thames River in London, and at his house they found an animal skull pierced with a nail, liquid potions, and small packets of like this, what they think just to be like sand or earth.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, this is mad ritualistic stuff again. And there was also a videotape labeled Rituals, where it was just a video, like a drama, where an adult was being beheaded. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of dots being connected here right now. Okay.
Breadcrumbs are being eaten.
Yeah, and the items seem to be associated with Nigerian rituals, also known as juju. Right? So a few people watching this may have heard of that before, but the detectives, while her name the name in her phone was under Musa Kamara, they actually found out that his real name was actually Kingsley Ojo or Ojo. Not an expert on pronunciation, but you guys are catching the drift.
You did your best.
I did. And unfortunately for the police, they had nothing to link him to Adam's murder, so he was good to go. But I'm not gonna lie, like there seems to be a lot of stuff adding up together. The fact that they found those shorts up in Glasgow, Scotland, and then not only that, but they managed to trace a man down all the way to London, where they found the body, and a guy that was connected to an orange short lady. Yeah. Like, this can't be coming down to coincidence anymore. That's what I'm trying to say.
There was also clear evidence that Ojo had been involved in human trafficking, so he actually was put under surveillance. Within hours of being released, he was already back talking to his criminal associates.
This guy's dodgy.
He couldn't resist. He was actually organizing the illegal entry of Nigerians into the UK. July 2003, things have finally caught up to Ojo. 21 men and women have been arrested in connection to Ojo, including himself, for, you know, human trafficking.
Yeah, look, him and his cronies.
Yeah, him and his cronies. His crew, his Donnies.
His crew.
They've gone down. 2003.
Talk to me. What
Officials
happened?
Made another trip to South Africa to consult detectives and multi experts in the South Africa Police Station, aka the SAPS.
That's what they actually call it, the SAPS.
Yeah.
That sounds so much cooler.
Well, I've got it on my research notes here. It's called SAPS.
SAPS.
Yeah.
But yeah, they needed to go back there to talk to people that know way more about these rituals than they do. Obviously, it's not nearly as
of course,
common.
in the UK, it's not common at all, really.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've heard of a ritual case in the UK.
Yeah.
So
at least one that we've covered. There's probably been a few, but we just haven't. Look, this is quite clearly the most interesting one. These orange shorts have got me thinking all sorts.
That's true. I know there's a little fangirl out there with a Freezy doll and a couple of needles.
What, they're just stabbing my eyes, doing a ritual. So please don't do that. That sounds terrifying. Chip, let's not forget that I told you that the colors and the type of shorts might actually be important.
He did say that.
Yeah, and look, right? They went back, they spoke to the people that know more about these rituals, and they claimed that the color is actually a really big part. Now, we mentioned that there were orange shorts, but they said the color red is the color of resurrection. Now, the orange, you could argue, was quite a close color to red. You could maybe say that.
That's really up in the air, you know.
What? Are you not sure about that?
I'm not sure about that.
You're not connecting those dots or tying those dots, as you would say.
I'm not tying those dots together. The breadcrumbs, I'm leaving them ones on the floor.
All right, well, I'm going to eat them up because they concluded it meant that one of Adam's killers might actually be a relative, right? And he was trying to apologize to his soul.
Apologize to what, Adam's soul or his own soul?
That's a good question. I think he'd be maybe apologizing to his own soul. Because I couldn't imagine
for killing Adam.
No, I don't know. You know,
or he had already done a bunch of bad stuff, and I can't figure this out actually. So he's done it. Maybe Adam's killer is a family member, right? Okay,
right.
Like you're suggesting here.
Yeah.
The color red is the color of resurrection. Okay.
So maybe the guy saw he'd done something bad in the past, right? And this was his way of being like, please forgive me type thing. Like,
sacrificing, the young child with the color of resurrection on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now you've just done another bad thing.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't know. Maybe in their eyes that's not a bad thing. Yeah. Maybe it's a sacrifice, a worthy sacrifice. I don't know. Next thing the officials wanted to do was they headed to Nigeria to try and find Adam's parents. But they looked through, they tried their absolute best. They even went through all the schools, went looking through missing children, but ultimately they found...
I would wonder how they go around doing that though, because they don't know his name.
Yeah, they don't know his name. They just called him Adam.
Are you really going to walk into the school with pictures of the boy, and the pictures of the boy are graphic?
No, so I think maybe they say, look, does anyone know a boy that went to the UK and then no one heard of him again?
Yeah.
Like one of those sort of things. I'm not too sure, really.
I mean, if you knew a boy that's gone missing, you know, that's all you'd have to say, to be honest. It's not often you know of a missing boy, really.
Yeah, it's true. And especially like they go to the UK, you don't hear of them. Do you guys have any kids here that were kidnapped between the ages of 4 and 7? I'm not too sure, but they're clearly putting in a lot of effort to try and solve this case.
Now, there was actually some really interesting stuff that was found in Adam's stomach. And first of all, they found small amounts of calabar bean, which is actually known as doomsday, which is traditionally used in witchcraft in West Africa. Okay, so sounding like a ritual straight off the bat, 100%. The dose that he had actually caused paralysis, but didn't prevent pain. So he's going through some stuff during this whole thing.
Yeah, mate, like... That is one of the most grim things. I swear there's and people will be able to tell me in the comments here, there's a movie where there's something similar like this, where the person is almost fully alive, right, and can feel everything, but they're paralyzed. And that's exactly what happened to Adam here. Now, we mentioned that all of his limbs were removed, his head was removed, right? Now, imagine he's paralyzed.
But he's still awake.
But he can still feel everything.
Yeah, it reminds me of in movies where they inject him with adrenaline so they don't pass out during torture.
Yeah.
Similar vibes.
That is grim.
Anyway, there was more. They also found ground up seeds from datura plant, which acts as a sedative and causes hallucinations. So I can't imagine what's going on here. You know, first of all, he's having his
point in that part of it.
Like,
why would you want?
Is that to make it so maybe it's not as bad for him? I don't know.
Mate, look, they've paralyzed him, but he still feels everything. Like,
yeah,
I don't think they were too concerned.
That could be possibly one of the worst things ever. You're feeling the pain of having your limbs taken off, and you are hallucinating.
Yeah. Oh, my stomach just feels weird just even thinking about the concept of that.
Damn.
After he was arrested in 2003. Finally, Kingsley Ojo was jailed in 2004, but unfortunately, it wasn't for the murder of Adam.
They couldn't
still nobody. Yeah, still nothing there. Instead, he was jailed for quite a few things actually. 4 charges of people smuggling and using fake documents to obtain a passport and driving license. So yeah, this wasn't in connection to Adam's death, which is a bit of a shame because.
But they finally slammed him. They did say he was a big player in the human trafficking.
Yeah, exactly. So they did manage to do that, and he did plead guilty, and he was sentenced to only 4 years in jail. Which because obviously, if it was the murder of Adam, he's going away for a lot longer.
Well, I guess they've given him a better deal for him pleading guilty, right?
Yeah.
Confess straight up.
But the problem is that he's only being done for like the documents and stuff like that.
Whereas, if they get him for Adam, we're talking.
Well, life sentence.
Serious.
So yeah, that was that, and then also he was recommended to be deported upon his release.
So when they're kicking him straight out of the country.
Yeah, he got out.
July 2005. Ojo has convinced the police that he can assist them on the inquiry. And now by late 2005, he's actually been released and is living back in East London.
That's a little too close to the Fellas Mysteries offices.
Absolutely. And yeah, he's released, living back in East London, helping the investigating team. For 2 years now, he's been feeding the police information. Oh, he's snitch, eh? He's a little snitch. You snitch? Listen, if it gets you out of prison, I'm snitching, man. Anyway, he actually said, he claimed that Joyce, the mother of the 2 girls and the person in connection to this whole thing, was on her way back to the UK. Remember,
she had been deported previously.
Yes. However, claimed it just ended up not being true. Cappuccino.
So he's not actually helping out. So maybe, like you said, maybe he was.
It just sounds like he's being a bollocks, really. Yeah.
Just to get out. Yeah, fair enough. 2008, the police finally decided, look, Ojo, you are rubbish at this snitching thing. Like, you're rubbish. So we're deporting you and you're off back to Nigeria.
Okay.
So, in Nigeria, Joyce, when we spoke about, she reappeared and admitted, right? She admitted she had actually looked after Adam in Hamburg and bought him the orange shorts. So we're getting somewhere now.
She's finally admitting it, which looks so suspicious, because why would you not just admit that in the first place? Also, it says she just reappeared. Like, what, was she stuck behind a wall and then just walked?
No, bro. They obviously lost
like
track of her. They lost track of her. Well, the thing is, why has she come out and now said it? Like, did they catch up to her? I don't know. But literally, once she had said that, as it's quoted here, she then said no more and vanished again.
I'm telling you, man.
How does she keep doing it?
She ain't even real. She's a ghost.
She might have to be.
Like, there's something not adding up here.
It didn't stop there, though. The BBC said, right, we are taking this into our own hands. And they managed to track down someone that actually knew Joyce when she lived in Hamburg, in Germany, right? And she said she remembers seeing Joyce twice with a small boy in the summer of 2001.
Ooh, it could be Adam.
So that's before Adam makes it into the UK. That's before Joyce is in Glasgow.
Yep.
I think about the case often. I'm still preoccupied with it all. I sometimes blame myself, which I realise in hindsight I have no reason to do. Maybe I could have saved this child if I had asked more questions. Had I asked her, who is this child? Where did he come from?
Look, it could be Adam. Yeah. And apparently, right, Joyce, according to this woman, she said that Joyce treated this boy as if he was a necessary evil to her.
What does that even mean?
What
does that even mean, though?
She said it was like he had to drag him along with her because maybe she didn't want to let him out of her eyesight, or like she took him along so he wouldn't have to be on his own.
That sounds like quite a nice thing, though.
Yeah, unless someone had said, this is the boy you will be trafficking into the UK. You are the responsibility of this boy. Yeah. Do not mess this up.
Yeah.
So, and she's super on it. That's the way I would see that anyways.
2011, we're making some real progress here because the torso was said to be a 6-year-old boy called, and I might get this wrong, Ikpomwasa.
Right.
Okay. Detectives found a photo in Joyce's possessions, and when questioning her, she admitted that it was him, and she said, look, it's a boy, his name is Ikpomwasa. She looked after the boy and then had given him to a man named Bauer, who had then taken him to London. Now, police were unable to positively identify the boy or even take the investigation forward, even though they make such a breakthrough there and got the name.
Guys, every few years, just a bit more information comes out about it,
it's
and
like
this Joyce person gets more and more attached to it.
Yep.
But was she genuinely just the person to look after the boy, and she was like told, like she's given instructions, look, there will be a man named Bauer here to give you, and she knows about this, and she's just trying to distance herself from what happened as much as possible.
Very possible.
Despite knowing the fact that she might have not done the actual ritual or the killing or whatever, but she played her part in some way.
Yeah, and I mean, she did have ritualistic stuff in her house, so even if we were to say, oh, maybe she was just holding him and she thought the boy was going to a better place in London,
but
the ritualistic stuff in her house doesn't point towards that. It does seem like she knows.
Yeah, she knew what was going to happen to this boy.
Yeah.
2012 rolls around.
Oh, that wasn't a good year. You know why? Didn't the Mayan calendar end? Yeah, we all died.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to all die then.
Good movie, 2012.
Really?
No, it's actually quite bad.
Is it a crap movie? Would you recommend it or not to the viewers?
It's a good bad movie.
It's one of those ones.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, everyone knows what you're talking about when I say that. Okay, anyways, back on topic here. So Joyce's brother now contacts the BBC. That's a bit rogue. Why would you want to do that, right? And he said, sorry, there's been a big misunderstanding here. The photograph wasn't of Adam, right? Ooh. And his name wasn't Ikpomwasa. That was not his name, right? Now, why would the brother do that? Is he feeling like everything just getting a little too close? He needs to call up and put
do
them
it
off
himself. Like,
I
I wouldn't say like he's dobbing her in it. I would more say that he's found out that what Joyce has done.
Yeah.
She's gone, nah, you fucked it.
Yeah.
Gone, oh, I can save this and be like, it's a
misunderstanding.
Yeah.
You guys, the BBC and detective went to that city in Nigeria, Benin, I believe, is the same, to talk to Joyce, who seemed confused and was known to have mental health problems at the time. Okay. So her health had deteriorated.
It's taken a toll on her as well, probably this case.
Yeah. She changed Adam's name several times while they were talking to her. But then, and this is big, right?
Yep.
Then they showed her a picture, and straight away she named him as Bawa.
Now Bawa was the guy that she had claimed she'd given the boy to.
Yeah, the child to. And that photo was of Kingsley Ojo.
Oh.
In 2011, Joyce identified this photo as the dead boy. Despite widespread publicity, his family never came forward. What about the photograph? Is it really the boy in the river?
The first song, yes.
No. She now says that was all a misunderstanding. The pictures of a child called Danny, the son of a friend in Germany.
Daniel.
We travel to Hamburg to find out if it's true.
Hi there.
Hi, Danny. And it is. This is Danny, Joyce's friend's son.
Now that's the picture. Yes. Do you know who that is? Yes. Who? That's me. Well, we're pleased to see that you're fine and well.
What does it make you feel?
A little bit surprising.
Our big human trafficking.
Big human trafficking, exactly. The guy that ended up only doing 4 years.
Right? Now that's a massive connection. That's a breadcrumb.
Bro, you're eating that breadcrumb. Tell me you're eating that breadcrumb.
That's a whole loaf.
That's the loaf. We just got the loaf there. They tracked him down in Nigeria, and he couldn't meet, but he insisted, right, on the phone that he had nothing to do with Adam's death. And there was no evidence linking him either. I mean, that's the whole point, is they have no evidence here. They're just sort of going off what people are telling them. And the investigators at the BBC are all just having to go with he said, she said.
It's interesting because it's like they tracked him down in Nigeria and he couldn't meet. It's like, yeah, sorry, I can't meet you up today. I mean, you're under investigation for the potential murder of a child, but I can't meet.
No, I know. But you never know with these things. And that's the whole point, is there is no evidence linking, right?
There's nothing solid. It's all on Joyce's word, and her mental health is deteriorating, like you said.
Yeah. One good thing that happened off the back of this case, though, and is something that the Met said, was that because it got so much publicity in the end, is that it was actually a big deterrent to other or more ritual crimes happening in the UK.
Yeah.
All right, Chip, let me know. Give me the up-to-date info.
Okay, 20 years on. This year, and the Met Police have made a renewed appeal for members of the public to come forward with any information that can help them with this case. Unfortunately, a key,
a massive part of all
this. A massive part of the whole case, Joyce has unfortunately died. So that could be...
That closes that.
That could really, really set this case back a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
she gave a lot of information. She gave a lot of, pieces of the puzzle, put things together. Yeah. Especially with the photo of the boy.
The photo of the boy, and then not only that, but then, she was the one that was with him in Hamburg. Yeah.
She identified as Bauer as Kingsley
Ojo. Oh, mate.
So this could be a tricky one unless someone comes forward with any information.
Yeah, and look, if somehow you're watching this and you do have any information,
then you can go to the Met Police.
Then you go to the Met Police and go and help them out. Solve this case. It would be class to see that.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's case. Of course, you can listen to the Fellas Mysteries now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any other audio platform that you listen to. Maybe like Deezer or D-Vibe,
whatever it is.
No free brand deals, actually. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next Monday at 6 p.m. for another...
Oh, that one's a banger.
Mysteries Monday. And yes, it might be what you're thinking.
Look, no more clues. Just do the shoot thing, and we'll end the episode. no, Chip. I'm late again, but I've got a reasonable excuse. Well, kind of, yeah. Look, put it this way, right? The missus flying around the house today. Have you seen the dog ball? Have you seen the dog ball?
I haven't.
No. Oh, fuck's sake, Jay, man. Why do you even say? You don't even say anything. You have no line.
Let me have my input, man.
No.
Let me shine. Officials travelled back to South Africa. Of course, they went there to see Nelson Mandela.
Nah. What is that? It sounded like the longest fart ever.
No. Is that why you went nah?
No, it's sawing. They're doing work on the roof.
Oh my god! I thought I got something wrong, and then I thought you were listening to the fart.
No.